I just got my 2-minute warning. Okay, table is coming. Table day, table day, table day. It's new table day. The folks just arrived and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay. New table dance. New table dance. Oh, there it comes. Holy crackers. Friends, the table has landed. Shall we go see the table? This fits so perfectly. Friends, I'm so excited. This feels so perfect in the space. It just is that beautiful modern touch. It mimics the lines of the pergola. I love that we went with a mismatched chair. And what's so funny is I didn't even realize it until I actually brought the chairs out here and started putting them in place, that the olive of these chairs actually picks up the green of the front door. And it honestly, it just pulls the space together. And this is what I mean by when you're choosing furniture, you know yourself and you're designing for yourself. It's not what a magazine says. It's not what your family and friends say. It's who are you and how do you want to live in your space? And for us, I'm immediately imagining dinner parties, family gathered around. I love like the tension that we're creating between this very like feminine blousey garden and these beautiful firm, more masculine type edges, this modernness meeting this like old world kind of English garden style. And for me, that eclectic collection is just what is making my garden sing right now. So I think the only thing that's left to do here is to set this table and work on a centerpiece. Okay, my friends, this is the footage I did not show you from our video the other day. I want this to do a centerpiece in the middle of this table. And so what I'm gonna do for this is, you know how we talked about how like the kiss of death is like a small, narrow container? Check this out. It may be a shallow container, but look how wide this is. And so the second that Brian and I walked by this, we were both like, yes, that is awesome. And I'll tell you my reasons why. First of all, look at this. You get this beautiful white coming through. So it matches the containers that we already have that are mixed with the blue on the patio. But then look at this. It's got this same pockmarked glaze as our big moon planter by the front door, and with just hints of these little black pieces coming through. Again, it ties the whole space together. And I feel like this finish lends itself so beautifully to a modern space. Oh, and also we looked at both of these. We like them both, but this texture is just a little bit more subtle. It does have more black marks on it, which I think are cool. It looks just singed. However, the texture game over here, I mean, I don't know if you can see just the depth and dimension of these, but this one for me, it just feels really special. And so I'm snagging it. Friends, for my centerpiece moment, I want to take you somewhere a little different. We're going to go to Fred Meyer. Now, Fred Meyer is essentially like a super Target. So they've got clothes, they have groceries. Actually, it's more grocery store than clothing, but they've got a little bit of everything. And they also have a garden center. And here is the scoop. I am a big proponent of you don't have to spend $1 million to have a beautiful, well-decorated home. So I'm going to take you to their garden center, and I'm actually going to show you some amazing growers, and we're going to pull together a centerpiece. Let's check it out. Should we do a fit check like the kids do? Woodland Coffee, always support local. Bag, Nordstrom Rack, of course, BCBG. We've got some pants, Mother Denim, Paint Splatter, Supremely Purposeful, Banana Republic, basic blouse, basic long sleeve, and last but not least, can we take a moment for striped socks? Who knows? I think they're smart wool. And the cutest new pair of platform high tops. I love my new Pumas. This was an immediate, it was a pop on it. It's embroidered flowers on high tops. What are you gonna do? So this plant right here, this is what I have in my dining room. This is Salvia caradona. Now, it is not listed with its specific name here. It just says it's salvia, but here's the scoop. If you know what you're looking for, this is a great place to pick up things that maybe are a little bit neglected or maybe aren't labeled, but you know what they are. So if I was on the hunt for more salvia, it's a good deal. Okay. I have tried to grow cafe au lait 8,000 times. One year I got like one bloom and then they all died. This is what I mean by you just never know. You never know with the odd nursery, the little garden center. And here's the other scoop. I will tell you, not all Fred Meyers are created equal. This one in Ballard off of 45th, the people they have who work here, they're normally the people that you would find in the store in the middle of winter, but these are actually naturally plant people. And I watch the way that they work out here, and they are truly interested in taking care of these plants, which I can't say the same for all locations. But look at this. Look at this gorgeous baby. Cafe au lait. And this is one of the ones that I thought it might survive, but she is totally dead in my garden. That is stunning. I think I have to get one. Oh my gosh. Okay, and sometimes with these dahlias that you see at grocery stores like this, you'll see like little tiny deco ones. I don't like those. I want the big kahunas. I want the big tubers, and you don't always find them. Okay, so these dahlias are looking a little stressed out, and here's how I tell. This leaf is okay, but do you see how these leaves are getting really limpy and lifeless? And when I put my finger at the top of the soil, it's really dry. These tubers need out of their pots ASAP. Here's the other thing. I'm noticing that none of these have been pinched back. And the reason they do this is because they have the pretty blooms and they want you to purchase these pretty blooms. So I know that when I get home, priority number one is going to be giving these a really deep soak to revive them. Priority number two, after they have regained their shape and I put them in the ground, I'm going to need to pinch them back. So I'm going to bring you in and show you the reasoning. Okay. So when you don't pinch back a dahlia, it doesn't send out a lot of lateral branches. And instead, look at this. You get this massively thick stalk that if you are a florist, you're going to have a hard time working with. Even as a home gardener, if I want to put this in an arrangement, this is not going to work well with a lot of other flowers. Let's look at this again. Check this thing out. This thing is massive. So what I might do when I get home, I might actually cut it all the way back here because look at this. Here's a lateral branch. Even the next one down, I've got lateral branches that are about to erupt. So this is a really magical find. Okay, she's coming with me. This is what I've come for today. I have come for these little kind of sedum succulenty moments. These are all produced by Little Prince. They're a nursery out of Oregon, and they have displayed at the Northwest Flower and Garden Festival for multiple years, and they're awesome, and they make great product. So I was kind of thinking it might be fun to do like a little collection. Like, check that out. How cool is that guy? And then, oh, look at this fuzzy pants right here. Awesome. So what I'm kind of thinking is I might choose a couple of really interesting textures and maybe even find a little bit of a floral moment to go with it. I did see a few flowering sedum, but something like this kind of catches my eye. The other thing that I want is I want a big, like, blue colored one. And I don't know if I'm going to find it here. Oh, well, that's cool. This is really interesting. Look at that. That's some great height there. But do you see how like we're mixing textures and it's becoming really interesting? This could be quite cool. Oh, look at this one. Oh man, that is cool. Look how cool that guy is right there. Okay, what is this one? Echeveria affinis. Okay, this is starting to get a little interesting. I'm gonna start with a little collection. We're gonna pull in some more floral elements and just see what starts to come together here. But essentially I'm building a story of texture, variegation, a lot of color. I think this could be very cool. Okay guys, I just picked up this little cutie because I was thinking, oh, I might play with a couple of these, and look, he has a free plant attached. Look at that little tiny sedum, how cute he is. And he's literally growing out of the bottom. When they say sedums are pretty durable, I do believe this is what they're talking about. So, free gift with purchase. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, this is also what I was looking for. This has so many things that I want for this because these guys, they're adorable, but I want some more volume. And I want something that kind of gives that floral feeling. Look at these. These are so gorgeous. Okay, look at this giant one. Look at that thing. That is absolutely gorgeous. Oh man, okay, even look at some of these things. Look at these cuties. I'm totally gonna just like bring all this upstairs here. We gotta check this out. These ones are looking fabulous too. Who's this? Iwasaki brothers. Okay, not mad at them. They're doing a good job. Okay. This tricolor sedum is one that I use quite a bit. It has beautiful volume. It's got a little bit of pink on it. It's like adorable and feminine. Really, really love this one. This one is also another winner. This is Sedum Ogon, and it is just a lovely, bright sedum. Look at this. Oh, here we go. Dragon's Blood. Another really incredible variety. And what you're noticing is that I'm loving the idea that we're building tons and tons of texture. Of course, we've got some like old standbys. Sedum Angelina, this is probably blue spruce, yep. Okay, man, I've got some decisions to make. Okay, I'm gonna start playing with options. Let's build a bowl. So the main goal was to create a centerpiece that was not needing a lot of attention. This is a shallow bowl. It's going to dry out quicker. And so I kind of wanted to do this succulent moment here. And I found some really good goodies, and I want to share them with you as I kind of pull this together. So you can kind of see right here, I've got a ton of different options, and the whole energy that I wanted to create was I wanted texture and I wanted interest, right? Because I can imagine that this is something that will be on the table. So therefore, I can include more detail because the eye will be resting as it's enjoying this beautiful arrangement. So at first I was thinking I would just go all little stuff, and then I found this cutie. This is Sun Sparkler Dazzleberry. It is a sedum. It has this beautiful blue color and a really gorgeous dusty pink. And at first I was like, oh, is this gonna be too big? But quite frankly, I think this is the move, because the second I put it in this pot, it was just sensational. So let me turn it around like this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's going to cascade a little bit. It won't get too high. There's actually a little dotting to the leaf that's really hard to see unless you're kind of up in it, but it is beautiful. I don't know if you can pick this up, but they're little teeny tiny dots all over that leaf. Just check that out. It is so beautiful. So first arrangement. So I already have some like beautiful height here. Next, when I was first putting some of these elements together, I felt like I was missing a floral moment. So this kind of ticks that box for me. Then I was looking at this color, and check this out. That color is beautiful. Do you see how it just pulls together all of the elements? So it kind of echoes this plant, but in a very different form. So I'm thinking that might be a stunner there. I also looked at this one, and I think this is a good option too, but quite frankly, I think I like the other one better. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to work on was I wanted some good texture overflowing the edges. And so I've got this guy here, and this is a very similar leaf shape. And so I don't know, I'm gonna just put it here for the time being. I may go a different direction, but I do think that's a little bit interesting. The other options that I have are this sedum ogon. This is a very different texture. And if you put this under this little guy, that's kind of interesting to me. But it does feel a little bit blown out. So then we have this choice here. And that's another sweet one. This is, again, I'm not sure if it's the right move, but it's something else that I've been playing with. Here's another one that I chose. And this one, what's funny is I don't think I actually really like that. I think it's a little boring, which is so funny because I thought like this was gonna be the jam. So then, check this out. We have another floral moment here. And what I'm kind of thinking is I think I might place, this is a portulaca, and it has this sweet little white flower. And a lot of times you see these much brighter, but there's something I really like about the freshness of the white with this dusty rose that is really speaking my language. Okay. The next thing is I want to build additional texture. And I have this guy. This is called a chenille plant, and it has just some beautiful, beautiful silvery texture. And so what I'm kind of thinking is it might be cool in there. And now we're starting to like really cook on something here. Like this, to me, this is starting to look really beautiful. Okay, so now we could add in this little guy in the middle for another textural element. This is super duper cute. This is a Calico, what is this? Niagara. So that is really pretty. But then I also thought, look at this little cutie and how dark and lovely he is. I was thinking what I could do is I could move my chenille plant more towards the center, and I could tuck him either over here or over here to bring in more of these dark tones. Okay, so this I think might make the cut. And then we have this little guy that I was thinking would be really fun for the middle. This is a crassula, and I wonder how big this is gonna get. A shrubby succulent displaying fat variegated leaves, drought tolerant, great for container plantings. It says nothing about how tall this is gonna be, but I do kind of think if I put two of them together in the middle with a little bit of that edge pulling that in. So all in all, this was a very successful shopping trip. So friends, I'm always going to advocate that you, whenever possible, support your local nursery because they are the ultimate plants people, and they really employ people who have dedicated their career to plants and plant knowledge. However, if you are on a budget, this video is for you. I ended up picking up a ton of different sedums, building amazing texture, crazy cute portulaca. This entire bowl project is going to cost me $38 before tax in plants, which I think is a fantastic deal. So the only thing left to do is get this planted and set the table. So we're back here at home, and I am about ready to pull together this awesome centerpiece. I'm really excited about what I found. Of course, you already saw this, but this sedum, we have Sun Sparkler Dazzleberry. This is lovely. If ever I decide to throw this out in the landscape, it will be perfectly suited for my growing conditions and my super sandy soil. The next thing I have is this portulaca, and this is labeled as the sundial mix, but I purposefully picked through all of the color just to find a nice white one so I can really do whatever I want with the rest of the tablescape. The next thing I have is this succulent. This is a painted echeveria, and really an awesome selection with super dynamic leaves. I also have this succulent, and I believe this is another echeveria, but it is not labeled. Next up is this sweet succulent. This is referred to as the chenille plant. This is an echeveria, pulvinata, and it has that beautiful fuzzy texture. This next one, this is a Crassula variegata. I have 2 of these little guys, and then I have 2 more adorable finishing touches. This one is a Sempervivum Reinhardt. This one is another selection from Little Prince. And last but not least, this chocolate brown Echeveria. And this is just Echeveria affinis. And this one has just dark, blacky bronze foliage with a hint of green at the middle. Now that we've gone over all of our plants we're going to be using today, I'm going to bring you in closer and build this beautiful centerpiece for you. As with all my containers, I'm going to start with a drainage choco. I have cut a long rectangle of landscape fabric here. I'm going to lay one end down, and I'm simply going to add a few rogue rocks from my landscape. And then I'm going to lay it back over, the end of it back over top. The goal of this is to create a little pocket that when I have all of my soil pushed down on top, it still allows water to drain freely through the middle, and I'm not washing out tons and tons of dirt through the center of my pot. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this with soil. And I'm leaving this one because this is such a small bowl. I want to get my big piece in first and then fill around it. I've got this first one in, and I'm going to go ahead and push all the rest of my dirt up to the root ball to meet it here and fill in a little bit more right out on this side. Okay, so what I'm really loving about this arrangement and the direction I decided to head was just pure texture, contrast, and loveliness. And really it all kicked off from this sedum. We have just this beautiful, it's like an antique rose kind of coming through, but an overall blue cast to the leaf. I mirrored this over here with this gorgeous Echeveria, this painted one, which includes almost like a reverse of both of these colors, and then popped it over here with some balance. Again, this edge story creating so much interest. Again, edge story, again, edge story. And then over here, all these cute little tips. Oh, check this out. One popped off. And what's so cool about sedums and echeverias and all of those kind of guys, you just pop him into the soil like that and he'll root and be totally fine. And then last but not least, giving another final really dark punch of color over here on the side. And because this is such a low water arrangement, it's kind of perfect for a tabletop. Because this is more of like a sedum forward arrangement, I don't need to water it as much. It can be in a lower, smaller bowl, and I'm not going to be hyper concerned about this container drying out. It's actually going to love it. Oh, and one last item. A lot of people are going to ask about zoning for this. Typically, these are going to be zone 9 and above. Over here, I garden in my climate like I'm in a zone 7 because occasionally we will have really hard freezes. This sedum will naturally die back, and the rest of these will actually just die if I leave this out over one of our more harsh winters. And I think we're gearing up for more of a harsh one this year. So I will probably bring this into the basement just to keep it a little bit more happy. Maybe put it under the grow lights. We'll see. This is looking super good. I just have 2 more little things to add from the garden. So friends, there we have it. The table has arrived and our first official dinner has been set, utilizing not only awesome outdoor durable place settings, but incorporating elements that we literally snipped just steps from the table. And of course, this centerpiece. I kept it nice and low, super textural, beautiful detail, nothing that will interrupt sight lines, encouraging gorgeous conversation late into the evening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you in the next one. And in the meantime, please say hello to your garden for me. That's so nice.